A General Motors assembly plant in the town of Ingersoll is shutting down temporarily. The CBC's Alessio Danini is on the story. He joins us live from London, Ontario. So, Alessio, what do we know about this shutdown?
Well, Andrew, workers were first informed this afternoon. The first shift just after 12, the second shift moments ago, according to the union. We're still working through a lot of information. GM says this is to align its production schedules with current demand, and this information insisting the decision has nothing to do with tariffs. They say this is a decision driven by a miscalculation on how popular electric vehicles would be. But the bottom line here is workers are being laid off at the plant. And this is a plant the mayor of Ingersoll says is the beating heart of his town. The number of workers, according to the union, about 500. We've spoken to Unifor's national president, Lana Payne. She has confirmed layoffs are going to start as soon as today's shift ends. After that, we're going to see the plant reopen with limited production in May for a couple of weeks. That's going to be to fulfill a large corporate order. And then after that, we're going to see the plant close until October. Now, GM has not said exactly how many people are going to be laid off. They're hoping they'll get some new orders before then. But right now, there's a lot of information coming in, and we're starting to fully get the picture.
Starting to fully get the picture, and you're painting a picture of it, and it looks fairly bleak, at least for the next few months. What's the reaction been so far?
Well, I mean, from the union, Unifor National President Lana Payne, as I mentioned, using a few choice words in an interview with us a few moments ago: devastating, crushing. She says the effects are going to extend far past just the CAMI plant alone. They're going to hit spin-off industries as well that make parts that feed into that plant. And it's really going to hit the whole town of Ingersoll. This town is really built around the CAMI plant. GM, once again, saying this decision is not tariff related. They say it's down to sales and demand. We do have numbers from GM's annual reports saying across Canada and the US, just under 2,000 BrightDrop EVs were sold last year. For a comparison, Ford, a big competitor, selling over 12,500 Transit EVs in the last year. Unifor says this is exactly why they've been lobbying provincial, municipal, federal governments these past few weeks to buy Canadian vehicles. They've been pushing Canada Post specifically to buy these BrightDrops. Elsewhere in the world of politics, we heard from Arpan Khanna, the Conservative candidate running for re-election in the riding of Oxford, says this is crushing for the community, of course, and himself and Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre are committed to protecting the auto industry. Andrew?
And so, Alessio, I don't expect you to know all the details of this, but it's a delivery truck, right? That's what they were building at this plant, and they were hoping to have some more orders for this delivery truck?
Yes, so at the plant, they produced two versions of the BrightDrop, and the most popular version, the BrightDrop 600, is it's a delivery van, similar to what you would see Canada Post driving around, a last mile kind of delivery vehicle. And those have been in production since early 2023, late 2022.
Alessio, thank you. That is the CBC's Alessio Danini in London, Ontario. For more on this, I want to bring in Brian Petrie. He's the mayor of Ingersoll, Ontario. And Mayor, appreciate you taking the time for us today. I know this is probably a difficult day for you and your town and the people there. What was your reaction when you heard this news?
Well, immediately goes to the people who are affected by this. It's always about the people that we have a great workforce here that builds amazing things. And that's really my number one concern, is that people are taken care of.
So tell me a little bit about what you know in terms of how many people this impacts. I know that Ingersoll is not a very big town, so this has got to impact just about everybody who lives there, right?
Certainly, from what I've heard, it's about 500 people at this point, and really, it's going to affect our whole community. There's no doubt about that. It is our largest employer. It's our largest taxpayer. And it's going to affect the supplier network as well as the local grocery stores and right down to local coffee shops.
And tell me about that, because these are good paying jobs, and this is really the heart of the community.
Certainly. And, GM's been a great community partner in town since 1986. I know in the long run, we're going to come back. We have a great workforce that can build amazing things in this town, and that's something that I'll put against anybody in the world. So I know in the long term, we can come out stronger from this, but it's certainly going to have an effect on our community. And it's really hard to tell exactly what that will be at this point as this unfolds.
Now, GM has gone out of their way to say this is not tariff related. This is just about, as our reporter was saying, a miscalculation in terms of the market for this particular delivery truck, and they're going to try to work to retool and maybe come up with something different that could be more popular. Is that your understanding of what's going on?
That is what I've heard, and I welcome that. I know that GM wants to be here long term. I know they value our great workforce and what they've produced here. So they've invested a lot in our community, and I know they want to be successful here, and they can be. It's just getting the right product out there.
So, Mayor, tell me a little bit more about that, because there is uncertainty in the auto sector in North America, and that is because of the tariffs put on by Trump and the retaliation that's been in place from the Canadian government as a result of this. So is that assembly plant, is that dependent on parts moving back and forth, or is it not? Do you have concerns around that moving forward?
Well, every auto plant has parts that move back and forth across the border, and CAMI is no exception to that. I don't know the official content levels, but I will say that, it's always concerning with everything changing. How can anybody make decisions on investments? And that goes down to local contractors or people that would use these type of vehicles. It's a hard day to make decisions in business right now.
So your understanding is that it is going to shut down basically in about a few weeks until October, and then there will be one shift, not the two shifts that there are right now. Is that your understanding?
From what I've heard come out, I'm still trying to get a full picture of what's going on, but that's what I understand. Yes.
So that's 500 jobs lost, and then 500 jobs kept. Is that around the number, or what do you know?
Unfortunately, I don't want to comment on something that I can't 100% confirm. I do know that the great people at Unifor have an action center that's set up to help people to make sure that they can be taken care of, and that's really what I want to see happen. I know our community locally is going to step up and make sure that they take care of people, and we're going to work with our partners to make sure that people are taken care of as well.
And let me ask you about what GM has told you about their commitment, and do you believe it?
100%. Like I said, GM has been a great community partner. They've invested a lot in this facility and a lot in the people that are here. They want to be in Ingersoll. Nowhere else in the world do we have this quality of workforce and what we can offer here in town. I'll put it up against anybody, and I know GM feels the same way. This is just an unfortunate situation, and so I know in the long term, we're going to be building things here for GM for a long time to come.
When you say you're going to help out the workers or be there for the workers, that's one way. Is, how will they be compensated, or how will they get through this period, and what kind of role, if any, do you want to see from other senior levels of government?
Well, certainly, like I said, Unifor has their action center. That's a partnership with the different levels of government. We're going to be on the phone calls already to the other the other levels to make sure that those supports are in place and see how we can assist any way that we can. Really, we have a strong economy here. We want to make sure that that continues. I certainly have put calls out to the provincial government to make sure that anything that we can try to help with that we can. And I know that they know this is important. During my first week in office, the Premier and the Prime Minister were here at the CAMI facility to make large investments in the facility. They know how important it is to our community and to the auto industry. So I know they're on top of this.
And I know, Mayor, you're probably getting all the information. Have you had a chance to speak to any workers at the plant who are getting these layoff notices, who could be on one of their last shifts? Have you had a sense of how they're feeling, how they're doing?
I've spoke with the union leadership, and I know that they're taking care of their employees. It's not a good day. It's certainly not a good day for anybody. I can't imagine what they're going through. This is not something that we want to have happen in our community, but I know that they're going to be taken care of, and we're going to be there to help do it.
Mayor, appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's Brian Petrie. He is the Mayor of Ingersoll, Ontario.